to understand every issue that is taking you on hard points and positions in your life. Remember, this happens here every Thursday with your host, Jeff Kimayo, the legend, and this is the legend with a story. Tonight's topic is the stride part 2 of what we were doing last Thursday. So sit a while, stay tuned, and keep engaged with us, because this is where we talk to help you. This is where we talk to lift your soul. So welcome so much once again. I'm your host, Jeff Kimayu, and
me, Caroline Muthoni. We are thankful for having you tonight, from wherever you're watching us from, whether from your home screen or from our social media handles. Remember, this topic, stride, is as part 2 of what we had last time. So if there's any question you didn't get to ask, you can ask us. So you can engage with us on our social media platforms. That's on YouTube, The Legend Productions, and also in Facebook and Instagram, Jeff Somba, The Legend. Stay tuned. Back to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Caro. Once again, this is EBN TV, the spheres of life. And here again, we make sure there is transparency, there is objectivity, and there is sanity in everything we do here. So make sure that you stay tuned, make sure that you stay locked and listen to what we're doing. So today we are having a great guest, and the guest is John. So John, welcome to EBN TV.
Thank you so much. They say the second time is a charm.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful to be here once again.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Yeah, thank you. So how was your day?
I've had a great day, a very productive one, so to say.
Yeah.
Yes. All has been well.
Yeah.
My spirit is in the right place.
Yes.
My body is in the right place.
Yeah.
And my mind is in the right place.
That is great. Welcome to EBN TV. This is the spheres of life,
Yes.
and this is the stride.
I'm glad to be here.
Welcome. So this is May, and May we talk much on mental health.
Yes.
What do you understand by mental health?
My understanding of mental health is a state of being in the right state of mind,
Yes.
the well-being of the mind, in a way that you can function normally, you can cope healthily with the stresses of life, you can work, you can do everything that incorporates the worldly things healthily.
Yeah.
And mental health can be positive or negative.
Yeah.
You can have a healthy mental health, mental state of mind.
Yes.
You can have a negative mental state of mind. Yeah.
So what is the connection between mental health and physical health?
Mental, it's in the mind.
Yes.
Your mental state affects the physical.
Yeah.
But now, the physical, you working out, you engaging in the physical, also affects the well-being of the mind.
Yes.
So they're intertwined. You have to be in the right space in order to manifest healthily physically.
Yeah.
You have to nurture the physically what comes in order for you. It's like giving back to the mind in order for you to be to nurture the mind as well.
Yeah. So in that connection, does mental health affect physical health?
To some extent, yes. When you find yourself in a state where you're overwhelmed, the stresses of life are overwhelming you, you can find that it's affecting your functionality. Sometimes, in some cases of a negative state of mental being, you find that you do not have the will to just move. You want to seclude yourself, you want to be on your own, and in that state, you find that it manifests. You can have headaches, you don't have the will to just leave, you're just there.
And on that note, what are the symptoms or even signs of mental health in an awful state? Or if maybe you've been affected mentally, but in the negative way, what are some of the symptoms that we can see trying to manifest from someone?
Yeah, sometimes you find that a person, the particular person can pull back from society. They don't want to be among people.
Yes.
I just want to stay in my room, stay in darkness, just be there. I do not have the will to do things. I'm not going to work. If I'm a student, I'm not going for classes. I just seclude myself completely. You find that you're having negative thoughts. You're just thinking negatively. Sometimes you find affected parties, getting to suicidal thoughts. In some extreme cases now where you need to consult medical experts, you find the extremes of being suicidal, the extremes of not wanting to do anything, you're not motivated, nothing in life is making you want to move, you're just there.
Okay, because this is an opener to our last Thursday's topic.
Yes.
I just want this is just a glimpse of what mental health is to our audience. Can we know how someone can withdraw from the effects of mental health? Not from the negative effects of mental health. Now suppose you find yourself in the same pool.
To the extent where it has not come to the clinical state where you need to seek medical advice, on the earlier stages, it's very important to be in sync with yourself. It's being one in yourself.
In sync with yourself, you have to call yourself into oneness, that you have to understand yourself.
Yes, you have to take a moment. That's why it's very important. In this hustle of the city, you can find that you're missing out in being one with yourself. So that's why it's very important to find yourself. At the end of the day, just take like 30 minutes before bed to just journal, write something, listen to where your mind really is, and that is the state where you're supposed to be completely honest with yourself. It's the state where you're supposed to be completely vulnerable. You just analyze what happened today, how did it make me feel, where am I at as a person, how do I feel, my mind, how are my thoughts, how is my body feeling, how is my spirituality. So making sure you are in sync with yourself constantly, every single day, helps you be in touch with where you're at in life, because we can easily lose ourselves with the hustle of the city. You're trying to get money, it's not coming,
and things are not
this
aligning.
deal is not going through, my academics are not looking good. So that's how it starts. The thing with mental health, you never know when you're losing it. You just get to a point one day and you feel like, wow, I'm really not okay. So it's very important that before it gets to that, every single day, just get back to yourself, to your body. Just sit with yourself, listen to what your spirit is feeling and how you're feeling as a person generally. Yes.
But before we close, I think Carol has a question. But before we get to Carol, now suppose you find yourself there and you are trying to sing yourself, you are trying to organize yourself, and you see that issues are overwhelming me.
Yes.
What next step are you supposed to make?
I find that it's very important to talk about it. If you feel it's now getting out of hand, do not suffer alone quietly. It's important to have a support system. Sometimes we are told, okay, support system that you trust. I trust that when I come to Carol, I tell you this and this and this, you're actually going to give me help, advice for the best. It's also very important to make sure you're of positive mindsets with your support system. Because now if I'm overwhelmed with something, then I come to Carol and then she's like, wow, sauta do, I'm a hair, okay,
This is to mean Carol as your piece of advice is like she is clueless.
Yes, so it's important to have, mostly this is where you're told to have mentors, an older person who can actually analyze for you what you're going through. Because in real sense, everything that's happening in the world now has happened before. There's nothing new that is happening now. So having mentors who are a bit older than you can actually, it can help to have someone to fall back to, because you can't do life alone.
True, that's very true.
So having a solid support system, and if that's not working, just seeking professional help. Nowadays there are many therapists, even in church institutions we are having free therapy that's been offered. Red Cross, they are having free therapy sessions. So if everything is not working, you've sought mentorship, you've sought support groups, and it's not working, it's important to seek professional help. Yes.
This is a great piece.
Okay, by any chance, can you have both states whereby you think you're fine, you're doing just well, but when you sit down and evaluate things, you're not just fine?
Absolutely, all the time, because really at the end of the day, no one is completely fine. I can't say, there is always something. Yes, my finances may be working out, my spirituality is working out, but it's just something that is not working out. So that's why I started by saying it's very important to be vulnerable and honest with yourself. Because the moment you come to a point of honesty and a point of accepting, yes, I as Joanne, I could be outside, people could see I'm doing okay, but really am I doing okay? So having that very vulnerable and honest analyzation of yourself makes things come to light. Yes, I thought I was okay here, but this is missing. And then now that helps you to start working towards making everything that is not okay to align it now.
But should all things work well?
Oh.
Is there a format? Is there a form that all things should work well?
You know, God tells us all things work out for those who believe in Him. So I believe even when during Jesus' life, the years He spent on earth, He was tempted. There were tribulations. So I think it's important to view everything from a point of everything will not always be perfect. But I know I have resources to ground me, to align me, to bring me back to all things working out for my good.
Thank you, Joanne. So our beloved audience, that has been a piece from mental health issues today, and because we know it is health or mental health awareness month, we wanted to make sure that you're aware of mental health, because you may find that there are issues that are negative in you, there are issues that are not aligning in your life. So we want to make sure that you don't feel left out. We want to make sure that your mental health is up to standard and up to speed with what a normal human person being is supposed to have. So tonight we have had that piece, and we are getting back to the story of the stride, and I think we left somewhere, and we promised that we shall be getting back to you as far as the last Thursday's story or point is concerned. So we're getting back to Joanne, and where do we leave our story hanging at?
Well,
we were talking about, remember our audience, we were talking about the messy choices that students or comrades make in colleges or tertiary institutions, and we want to make sure that you are reclaimed from every thought that looks so good unto you. So here we want to make sure that where you are trapped, you get out of that. So I think we left out on some basic points as far as your story coherence is concerned.
Yes. Where did we leave at?
He left out where you were already in the bad gang, let's call them bad gang, and then you had not yet realized what's good for you. Now we are trying to come up with how you navigated your path back to the right way.
Well, okay. I had made my bed. I was now laying on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what happened now? In third year, things starts getting serious. In your third year, in your fourth year, because now you have measured on what you want to do it live
or to be
now.
In life.
Yes, you're now getting direction. Okay, I want to be a news anchor, I want to be a media producer, that and that. And life gets busy. Life gets really busy. So that is where now everyone was defined. Personalities were defined from there now, because now you find my classes are very engaging, my projects are very engaging. So now I just found that I didn't have time anymore for that kind of life. And from there on, life just went on smoothly.
So up to this point, after you realized that maybe you had wasted some time in college or in university, so what are some of the decisions that made you come out of that group or that kind of life that you are living, and what is it, or how can you advise someone in college right now who thinks that they've got a lot of time, maybe they are in their first semester and maybe they are going for 4 years? How can you advise someone as far as the decisions that you made then?
Yes, so it's very true when you're told you pay for every time waits for no man. And as long as you wasted some time at some point in your life, you'll find yourself rushing, trying to catch up to it at some point. I found myself in that rush until maybe in my mid 20s. Because now there are things you would have done. Say for instance, I went to school to do journalism. You find that beyond you doing journalism, you're supposed to be building other skills and skills around what it is you want to do. So all this free time you have, it's plenty of time to build those skills, to join clubs, to volunteer in professional bodies, and that would have come to build up to what I was doing. So by the time I could be leaving school, I would have built, beyond me coming out with a degree in journalism, I would still be having all these supporting skills that would have been very marketable in the corporate world. So if you're in first year, do not think that you have time. There is no time. Go in with a clear objective. Go in with clear goals. Also, that will really ground you, because we'll know I'm in first year, first semester. Okay, you can take the first semester to Galavant, to just get the hang of things, get into the system. But then now from your first year, second semester, you've already known. You know this is what I want. Yes, you are aligned. Now you should now start making the goals before I get out of the school, before 4th year. I want to do this. And that is so much time you can even do a simultaneous course. You can actually graduate in 4th year with a degree and maybe a diploma or certifications. There's a lot of time to do a lot of things.
Now, diploma on a different course or the same?
According to your passions now. That's why you're supposed to be very clear about your passions and your goals and your long. Actually, the thing is, the trick is not to look here the short term. Look at the long term, because there's life beyond 4th year, beyond the degree now, and there is beyond me, Joanne, wanting to be a news anchor. What other passions do I have in life? Maybe I love cooking. I can join a hospitality class. It's easy to run simultaneously with a journalism course. You know, maybe I love coding. I can take an IT certification and something else. So you look at how you can merge many things to make you become this whole thing that you envision of yourself.
And maybe there's a student out there who has already gone through the messing part, but he's wondering, how will I bounce back? So maybe you can share how you managed to make time for the lost time, maybe.
So I didn't fully manage to make time for the lost time. That one is a marathon. The moment it's lost, it's lost. It just becomes a marathon. But now what you can do is, it's not the end of the world. Yes, I wasted first year, I wasted second year. So what now? It's not the end of the world. You can still align yourself. Because last week I said I was very clear on my academic goals. Only the personal and social kind of goals, they're the ones that I wasn't very clear on. So if you knew what was your grounding factor in the first place, because mine was academia. So by the time I was getting to 3rd year now, all these projects have come. Then I'm realizing I have also learned things within the course. I'm realizing, oh, okay, I would like to be a public speaker. So now I start attending public speaking sessions. Now you start. It's very important, the moment you've realized where you left the way, now you go back. Do not deny. Denial will be the end of you. Just accept. Kiliniramba, the water has maji imemwagika, haiwezi zoleka. Now what do I do from now? Because that is now, that is what being resilient is. Being resilient is being able to, it's how you bounce back from a setback. It's not how strongly I stood through the through the tough times. So now when you go back, accept, and then say, okay, now this is where I'm at. Where can I go from here? Remember the goals that you set. What have I lost of those goals? What can I salvage? Then now you begin from there. That really directs you. It gives you direction.
That is a great insight. So now, what was the effects of the decision that you made? And how hard was the decision? Because I think I had a question on the same decision, but now here, how did this help you in making other decisions in future? Or Is it prior to, not prior, but after you did all this, after you were on these messy issues?
Yes.
Although not too much deep into the messy issues, but I think there is an insight that our audience is getting.
Yeah.
But how did this help you in making future decisions, and decisions that maybe look crazy as far as a student is concerned? Maybe your comrades may say, your fellow comrades may say, this person is lost, is going astray. And remember, the decisions made you go astray, and someone here, when you're trying to reclaim yourself, someone is saying that you're supposed to get back to where you're trying to reclaim yourself from. Yeah. So help our audience know, or even much more on the comrades. How did this harden your decision making?
So one thing I learned, a principle that I'm still applying up to now, looking at things from the long-term perspective.
Yeah.
If I get an opportunity, I don't look at what am I supposed to achieve in this opportunity at the moment. I look at what other opportunities is this opportunity opening in the long term. So this really helps me to look at things from, not from the now, but from the wider perspective of things. I'm here, I have all this time. Should I just go to sherehe, sleep, because I have so, no. Like, what can I make of this situation that I'm in now positively? Because to avoid now going back to, oh, I wish I could have done this. Oh, this thing should have led to this. So now I begin from the end, from my decision making. I start from the end as I come now to the, okay, what is the long-term thing that this situation, this opportunity is going to bring to me now? And that's why you find that even the guiding principles you are laying from the onset is from the finished product. So if I see it from the finished product to now where I am at, it really helps with efficiency. It helps with maximally utilizing my time, my resources, and giving everything my all, every situation that I find myself in.
And what was your support system of this straight stride?
And maybe how did they react? Maybe after knowing that you messed yourself, how did they react? Were they supportive, or did they look kind of negligent?
Oh, we were supportive. I think in when you enter a tertiary institution, anything is expected. Like nothing comes as a surprise. Actually, what comes as a surprise is when maybe if you had strayed and now you're trying to pull yourself from the crew that you are being with. Hey, John, unacha pombe kabisa, kabisa. So like the good thing about the people I was relating with in campus, they weren't the kind of people who force things on you. So, oh, you've decided this. Okay, that's nice. Why? What brought the decision? And again, if there's something I learned, it's do not be lukewarm. And that Bible verse that says you be either hot or cold, because now if you're cold, you're getting the reward of the coldness fully. If you're hot, you're being rewarded fully as a hot person. If you're lukewarm, you're confused. Satan doesn't know, are you mine? God doesn't know, are you mine? So you're there and you're not reaping any reward from either. From either of the decisions you're making. So it's very important to decide where you stand. If you're, because as for me, yes, I was doing these things, but deep down you know what is the right thing you're supposed to be doing. So in that space of guilt, your conscience haunting you, you find you're just here. So until you choose a side, that is when now even you can align, because you can't move if your spirit is at war with your body and mind. You cannot move. You'll constantly be in confusion. So the moment you decide, I am going this way, then that way things even start aligning. Yes, and even the universe. Okay, the spiritual, godly, because I believe in God. God aligns you, but in the world, people will say the universe will align you. So the moment you choose this path, the universe will align you. God will align you with the right people for that season to work with you in that season, which makes it quite easy.
That's quite okay. Now, getting back to the story.
Yes.
Because To our audience, I think we said our topic is much more pinned on the comrades and the comrades' life in tertiary institutions. So there are those decisions that you made trying to reclaim yourself or getting out of that kind of group. And we had mentioned about the time in tertiary institution. Maybe you're doing a course that is taking you 4 years in the same.
Yes.
So what are some of the things that you're supposed to do in your free time? And maybe when you are not in class, what are some of the things that you can help a comrade do when they are not in class, or even when they are not taking out on their projects?
And maybe adding to that, in that point of you reforming, did you ever think of going back to what you used to do?
Okay, so I'll start from ever going back. I can never go back, especially once you receive Christ as your personal savior. You just can't, because now it's the Spirit of God that is guiding your steps, that is leading you. So there are just places you can't find yourself going back to. But would I change? Would I change everything that happened? No,
you can't change, because it has been, and maybe it molded you in one way or the other.
That is what built me into who I am now. I wouldn't be here if I hadn't experienced all those things. And now I can confidently talk to someone with both perspectives. If I'm telling you the God side is amazing, I can give you a comparison of what happened to me back there when I was in the world.
What is happening to you when you're in the God
currently
side?
Yes, and you can compare both sides, you can see. So I'm really grateful for what happened. It really groomed me also to come. I told you I was Kienyeji from the village. So it really gave me a perspective of the world. It gave me a perspective of understanding the world from a very wide scope. So it's a process that I'm very appreciative of. And things you can do as a comrade during your free time, there are plenty of things you can do. Join Rotary, join clubs, join societies, volunteer. Like Red Cross have a whole volunteer options that you can join. There's a lot, but the most important thing is knowing your passions. Even your hobbies matter in this space, because now if you like sports, you can join a sport. I used to play badminton in university. We used to go to KU. It was a nice experience. You network, you get to know what other people are doing. It's a great experience. So don't just go to a tertiary institution with just academics. Have a caller. This is what I want academically. This is what I want in terms of my things I like doing. This is what I want spiritually, because now if you go spiritually, if you're in Catholic, the societies, there are things they are doing in as a society. If you go to CU, people are going out for missions, people are going out to evangelize. There's a lot you can do. The most important thing is to know what kind of a person do I want to be at the end of this experience. Because I tend to feel that this is like the foundation that now brings you out to the world. What kind of a person do you want to come out of the world being? And I believe that person is someone who is whole, all round. Spiritually, you're good. Physically, you're good. Academically, you're good. Because even in interviews, they look for all these things. Beyond academics, who are you as a person? Okay,
thank you for that word. And before we get to the end of this, and before we get to engage or read some of your comments as our audience, there is a quick one I just want you to respond to these comrades. Now that you're in school, is there anything that you can do to bring you some kind of income? Just a quick one.
Yes, I will give you an example. My roommate used to cook porridge, and she used to make sandwiches. And I'm telling you, she could pay for her school fees from that hustle. There are a lot of opportunities, even selling smokies. That is something. As long as, okay, I find some people arguing that if I do not have this entrepreneurial side of me, then you don't expect me to do these things. But I used to do these activations for, say, like for Dettol. I used to do all those things, and I used to get pocket money from that. So as much as you're thinking, my parents would give me pocket money, it's also important to look at the financial aspect of life, because you also have all that much free time.
Yes, true.
And that is a space where you're a young person, you are free to experiment, as long as it's on the positive side, explore, anguka, rise back up, explore, just explore everything. This is the best time to actually come into yourself fully as a person.
I think comrades are getting something there, and Karo, you can give us some
I can see people are really watching the show, and they are saying, I can see Virginia Wanjiko saying following the program keenly, Elizabeth Kathike saying enjoying the topic, very inspiring, Mika from saying watching and learning, Teddy Samist saying wow, this is great, following being inspired, Sky Loki saying watching from Kitui, Meshak Mesh saying watching from Makueni, Dina Mwania saying watching and following the program, good job, SC Robin, I'm with you from Migori, Israel Somba saying watching from Makueni, and Emmanuel Mwiti saying watching. You can also continue engaging with us on our social media platforms, that is on YouTube, The Legend Productions, and also in Instagram and Facebook, that's Jeff Somba, The Legend.
Thank you. So what is your final word to our audience?
I would say to the comrades out there, all is not lost. If you feel that you had strayed, maybe you made decisions that led you from your path, your designated path, it's not all lost. That is not a reason to give up on yourself. There's still a lot. Today, I'm really having this word resilience in my spirit, because being resilient, it's not about perfection. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're young. How you bounce back from this, let's not your shortcoming be what is defining you now for the rest of your campus life. Yes, people fail, we fall, you go out there, you join bad companies, just collect yourself back as early as you can, because now we have information out there, we have resources that we can engage with. Just collect yourself and go back to aligning, go back to the drawing board, have a write down. It's important to write down, because it will stick to your mind and to your spirit on this is what I want to do. It will help you. And to the parents out there, just be patient with us as we try to navigate life out here. Just encourage us. Your words are very important in molding us to who we are. Like, just give us words of encouragement, pray for us, and continue holding us in prayer and in all round in life. And also for anyone who is watching me and you're trusting God for school fees, you want to go back to school, either you're a parent, either you're a student, I'm also trusting God for school fees to go back to school. So I pray that you may have a breakthrough on that, as I also have a breakthrough. Thank you so much.
That has been great, and our guest has been John Mutevia, a media producer, and we've been navigating through a topic named strayed, and we are talking of the messy choices that comrades make in school. So thank you for watching, and thank you, John, for honoring our invitation here on EBN TV. Remember, our audience, this happens every Thursday from 7:30 to 8 a.m. It has been the spheres of life. The topic has been strayed. Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Jeff Kimaiyu and Caroline Muthoni, and until next time, we wish you a good night.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.